So in today's presentation, we're going to go over gait development. My name is Felicia Dela Cruz. This is Kin332 with Professor G or Dr. G, Dr. Garrett. Today's April 19, 2020. So gait is orderly stages of development, movement, walking, basically the stride, the step length, and the duration in which the single limbs stance increase with age and the number of steps taken per minute. So basically, from the moment that you lift your foot, your left foot, to take a step, all of your muscles and everything constraining at that time and lifting, bending your knee at the 90-degree angle, and the mid stance when you land on your right foot, then going up again, bending, pushing off, acceleration, mid swing, then deceleration, which is when you land. Um, in most circumstances, the landing is the easier part because you're either going to land flat on your feet or you're going to fall. It's an either or scenario. The 4 stages of gait development: theories, principles, and possible constraints. Early childhood, obviously, is where it all begins. Between months 12 and 15, after you're born, is when a child learns how to start walking. So the first and initial stage of gait is in early childhood, um, and it's basically them learning how to lift their feet and their legs at the same time, moving their limbs at the same time in order for them to walk, in order for them to walk without falling at that. It is common in toddlers to fall several times when learning to walk because they still haven't fully developed their motor controls and their control constraints to tell them how to walk without falling. You see that's the baby um, taking an initial step with the left foot. You see the bend, you see the ankle, you see the foot raised in the air, and you see the arms extended, one backward, one forward, to allow the baby enough momentum to walk, to take that first step. There's a link at the top of this slide, basically evaluating a toddler's walk. And in evaluating that video, I was able to determine that the toddler had initially started off with both feet on the floor. The toddler was mostly running in the stride length, mostly running, but walking, or you could say walking very fast. The arm swing, the toddler swings the arms backward and forward in like a running motion, but no control of the limbs. Initial contact and landing response, the toddler does move in a fast motion, but does allow some time to get a good stride as well. During the mid stance, the toddler moves his feet at a very fast pace. Terminal stance, toddler lands with both feet flat. The pre-swing, initial swing, toddler does move fast, but takes the appropriate time for balance and correct stride proportions. And the initial swing, mid-swing, toddler did bend knee at 90 degrees, which allowed him to gain a good momentum. And then the late mid-swing, terminal swing, child did not fall when landing the stride. They did not fall down. They were able to keep their balance, which is good. And then you have your second development, and that's usually I want to say about the age of 7, which is when the knees and the hip reach their adult size. There is a steady increase in strength in children. Adolescent girls have a steady increase. as well adolescent boys experience a growth spurt. So there is a little bit of difference between genders in regards to muscle mass. As you know, boys will have a little bit more muscle mass than females, but um, when it comes to walking and being able to take the same stride, it doesn't matter whether it's a male or a female. So gender doesn't matter when learning how to walk and learning how to have your mind communicate with your body and make that initial step. And you see in this photo, the young boy is playing baseball. He has his knee bent at a 90-degree angle. His arms are both up by his rib cage. One is going backwards, one is going forward, and he's in the running motion. You can see his ankle is lifted to allow him to get enough um, momentum off of the ground in order to continue to run and land the base that he's trying to land. There's a video link at the top on the evaluation that I did on a child walking or throwing, I'm sorry. So the base of support, child has both feet on the floor, but is also running at the same time while throwing the ball. The stride length, child does not take a step forward with the left leg. Arm swing, child brings arm up to throw the ball, but is not at a 90-degree angle. Initial contact, loading response, child does not allow enough time to prepare for the throw. The mid stance, child moves feet at a very fast pace. Terminal stance, child has both feet on the floor and does not take a step to gain momentum and speed when throwing the ball. Pre-swing, initial swing, child does not take the appropriate time for balance and correct stride proportions. The initial swing, mid-swing, child did not bend knee at a 90-degree angle, nor the arm. Late mid-swing, terminal swing, child did not fall when landing the stride or when throwing the ball. During adulthood, I want to say at about 16 to 18 years old, when the long bones have reached their peak, the body should already have a good walking rhythm. You should already be able to know how to walk without falling, unless there are some physical abnormalities, some physical constraints that aren't allowing you to be able to walk the way someone at the age of 16 or 18 would be able to have, say they do not have any physical or mental abnormalities to their body structure. The strength levels are steady in young adults. Strength usually does decline about 30 in most adults, depending on the social norms. Some can affect how you move. Not really, though. It just depends on how you live your life in regard to movement. If you decide to stay home and not move, not exercise, not do anything, as a lot of us are doing right now in COVID-19, not able to go to the gym and get that normal weekly exercise that we get, a lot of us can start to get lazy in a sense, or get comfortable and not continue to gain that momentum and gain that strength of that muscle mass by moving. So you have to continue to move, continue to exercise, continue to work your bones, work your muscles, and make sure that everything continues to keep that strength. Males are generally stronger in the arms and shoulders due to the muscle mass. Males are a little bit more broader on the shoulder area, arm area than most females, but I honestly don't see it being a gender separation in regard to stride, in regard to gait. I don't see um, any reason for gender to be something that people can decipher between somebody being stronger than the other. At the top, we have the hyperlink for the video that I evaluated. Based off of this video, it was walking, and it was of an adult walking. So base of support starts off on both feet flat, stride length, wide stride, arm swing, moving arms backward and forward during stride. Initial contact, loading response, adult walks at a normal and comfortable pace. Mid stance, adult had a good mid stance, great balance. Terminal stance, adult did finish walk on both feet with no balance issues. Pre-swing initial swing, adult did take the correct amount of time for balance and stride strength. Internal swing mid swing, adult did bend knee at 90 degrees. Late mid swing terminal swing, adult did not fall and did maintain balance. Now for the elder adulthood, it is a little tricky with the elders. Some stay active their whole entire life, so you could see a decrease in stride maybe at a later age, but generally speaking, we generally see a decline in stride about the age of 65. With the older generation, it's most common to see the stride shorten at about 65. I believe that elders should stay active and keep their bones moving in order to avoid bone deterioration. Per our lifespan motor development, it does advise that, you do lose stride strength after the age of 65, but it's also based on your constraints and your social norms as well. So as long as you stay active, as long as you stay, moving, keep your muscles going, you shouldn't see too much deterioration at too fast of a pace. Let's see here. Bones aren't as strong as younger adults, but they still can, get you to and from and get you going as long as you take care of yourself. On this slide, we have a hyperlink at the top and my evaluation of an elderly woman getting up off of a chair and making a stride across the way. So the base of support, she starts off on both feet. She is a little not so sure when getting up, but she did start off flat on both feet. The stride length, very small strides, very small steps. She's just barely lifting her foot, just barely moving, but she's moving. See arm swing, moving arms to the side and let them kind of dangle at her side during her stride, kind of giving her a little bit more momentum as she walks. Initial contact, loading response. Adult walks at a very slow pace while moving, almost dragging her feet at times, almost, but she's still moving. Mid stance, adult made a semi good mid stance with not so great balance. So she was a little shaky, but she was okay. Terminal stance, adult did finish walk on both feet with minimal balance issues. Pre-swing, initial swing, adult did take the correct amount of time for balance and stride strength. Initial swing, mid swing, adult did bend knee at 90 degree angles. The late mid swing, terminal swing, adult did not fall and did maintain balance. As you see here, this is my reference page, and this is my evaluation on gait and what I believe I have learned throughout the past 8-week course on how people move, starting from a young age to an old age, and how the body works, how the muscles work, how they all contract together in order to get you to and from. Thanks. Have a great night. God bless.